Hi, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Tomorrow Never Knows, a Beatles podcast. And this is we've had someone write in, and they asked, they were saying, what if the White Album was a single 14-track album, and asked us to do that. And his name was Matthew. I don't know if he wants me to use his full name, so I won't. And so we're going to look at that. And I've got Jeff with me. I've got Jeff. How are you going, Jeff?
I'm well. How are you, Gregory?
Yeah, pretty good. Just
That's good.
sitting in the bedroom, rainy, windy day in the middle of summer. Otherwise, we'd be down the beach.
Yeah.
But thought, why not talk about the White Album and try and get that double album down into 14 tracks. Now, before we start, I just want to say I love the double album. I love it the way it is. I know there's a lot of people that say, even George Martin said it should have been a single album. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I like it as a double album because I think there's too many good tracks. But like I was saying before to you when we're off air, I think it's probably there's definitely some tracks that could be left out that are more suited to people's post-Beatles solo career.
Right. I just want to talk about when we were introduced to the White Album in our in our younger pot smoking days, and how we used how we used to sit around with friends and would play it, being very stoned. And I just remember, those four portrait pictures that you get with the White Album?
Yeah.
I remember just looking at those pictures and listening to the music and thinking, wow, these guys did that.
They knew something that we don't.
Yeah, and oh man, I just loved it. I loved it. And like I said before, I learnt more from the White Album than I did at school or university.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of lessons in there, that's for sure. It carries, to me, it's my opinion, but it carries on that sort of esoteric, psychedelic theme. If you look at Rubber Soul as being the gateway album, like the Marijuana album.
Yeah.
And then you've got
Revolver
and Sgt. Pepper as a real full-on LSD albums. This one seems to be a gateway more into, there's a bit of a smack feeling to some of the stuff in there.
Look, it's a very laid-back album. As I was listening to it, and it's really laid back. It's really there's a lot of ballads, nursery rhyme-ish ballads, which I like. From the Beatles, nursery rhyme-y type. And you're right, there is some real psychedelic type songs in there, like Piggies. Piggies is quite psychedelic,
and we all know what that song led to.
Yeah.
Well, let's do it. Let's get into it.
I just want to mention first of all that Peter Jackson was saying that he found like 6 or 8 hours of White Album footage.
That's incredible.
So I'm praying that stuff comes out, that he edits it, or not even edits it, just dump it on Disney, just dump the whole thing on Disney and let us see that. Because Get Back, as brilliant as it is, and there's one part in Get Back where they're talking about how it wasn't going to be a new album. It was going to be them performing concerts, performing the whole White Album. That's what they were going to do, because the White Album had just been released, and I would have loved that.
Oh, yeah.
I would have absolutely loved that. But so hopefully that 6 to 8 hours comes out. That would just be absolute magic. Magic.
I mean, God, it'd be unbelievable to see some of that footage.
Yeah, that'd be just like uncovering, just the Bible or something. And that's what the White Album was to me. It was like a Bible,
Yeah.
It was like the Bible. The White Album to me was, an
instructional manual for life.
Yeah, on how to communicate how to communicate, how to think, how, it was just like philosophy. It was like a massive philosophy lesson.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
Yes.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I see exactly where you're coming from.
So what we're going to do is we're going to do 2 lots of 14 tracks each. The first one we're going to do, say, in the eyes of maybe George Martin or the Beatles, a producer who has to pick 14 tracks that's going to keep everyone happy, that's going to keep John, Paul, George, and Ringo happy. So they're 14. So it's not necessarily our pick. And then the next one we're going to do is going to be our pick, what we would pick out of the 14 songs for the albums, which was Jeff. I know Jeff was having a very hard time with that.
I've struggled. I'm still at 16, so
yeah,
there's going to be a live cut, I think.
Yeah,
a live cull.
There's me too. I was looking at certain songs going, can you leave this out? I can't leave this out, And then, but you have to.
Some are really short too. You think, but it's important. Short but important.
Yeah, yeah.
And you think, well, fuck, what do I do with that?
All right, so I'll go through the first one. I'll go through first, and this is like what a producer would pick to keep all the Beatles happy. Okay, This isn't necessarily my choice, but it is my choice as well.
Well, this is you with the lens of George Martin on.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Exactly right. So side one, okay, of my 14 tracks, side one, start off with Back in the USSR, because that's a classic.
Oh yeah,
it's not one of my favorite Beatles songs. It's not even one of my favorite songs on the album.
Look, the thing I really like about it, and I agree with you, it's not one of my favorite Beatles songs, but what it does after Sgt. Pepper is come back and say we're a very good rock band,
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
It's just a fucking hit. We're back, we're rocking, and stick that in your eye.
Yeah, that's right. And I didn't really appreciate that song until we went and saw McCartney in 2017 or whenever it was, and he sang it, and the audience was just going ballistic, and I thought, this is a live song, this is a live rocking song, and that's when I really appreciated it. So Back in the USSR, you got to have it. It's a hit, it's a classic. It's got to be there. And number 2, Dear Prudence. So I've started off with the same 2 as the White Album, because with Dear Prudence, not only is it a classic, and not only do I love it, but I like the way it bleeds into it. I just can't imagine it not doing that, where you hear that plane flying over and then you just hear those first chords to Dear Prudence. And plus I love the song. Absolutely.
It's a brilliant song, and Lennon's voice in it's fucking unbelievable.
Unbelievable. And Paul plays drums on that, and he does a really good job.
What was Ringo doing? Where was Ringo?
Who knows?
Well, if Get Back is any indication, he was having tea and toast with jam.
But also, Ringo quit the band for 2 weeks during the White Album session. Yeah, he quit the band for 2 weeks, and maybe that was in the 2 weeks he'd gone away. So he
quit after Back in the USSR, and then came back for Glass Onion.
Yeah. So he wasn't there, and but that is just, Dear Prudence is one of my favorites.
It's Beatles songs.
Yeah,
and the thing is, when you're back, that Back in the USSR comes back in saying, "Yeah, we're a very good rock band." Yeah. But then Dear Prudence says, "Look, this is how we've evolved too,"
And also, also you were talking about that psychedelic thing, that part where they're saying, "Look around, round, round." That to me, that's a bit psychedelic.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's ghostly sounding in parts. It's really esoteric,
Yeah, no, it's great.
And just that whole come out and play.
Yeah,
it's almost
it's haunting too.
Yeah, it's a threat.
It's haunting as well. And the next song I got, track 3, Piggies. So
okay.
So after Dear Prudence, after that ballady, you come up with Piggies, another kind of psychedelic track. I love Piggies. And also you have track 1 is Paul, track 2 is John, track 3 is George.
Right.
So what do you think of Piggies?
I love Piggies.
Yeah,
it's
one of my
an
favorites.
Absolute classic, and it's I think its message, its anti-corporate message and anti-government message was part of the zeitgeist of that period, obviously. But it's something we didn't really heed.
No,
I love it.
we
I love
didn't.
it. I wouldn't,
Except
I
for
don't
that
love
line.
it. I don't love it. Manson love it, but I love it.
Except for that line right at the end, to eat the bacon. I remember that, and I'm just thinking, yeah. Track 4, Happiness is a Warm Gun. Now, this is one of my top 5 Beatles songs of all time. I just really love it. And when I heard that they were going to perform the full White Album live, the first thing I thought of was, wow, imagine seeing Happiness is a Warm Gun live.
Yeah.
How good that would have been, with Lennon screaming that part, those parts. It just would have been fantastic. So yeah.
Hopefully there's some footage on that. Hopefully Jacko's got some footage.
Yeah. Number 5, I've got Martha, My Dear, to throw in another Paul song. That's a Paul song I like. I remember sitting there just being stoned and hearing the violins and stuff, and that, I don't know, for some reason that song really got me.
Yeah, it resonates with you?
Yeah. I know you don't like it that much.
No, I don't. I find it
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll get to mine. But yeah, I find that a bit trite, Paul's, he's got that trite genre, which I think he really exploits on this album.
Yeah, he does. He does. And I find it trite too, but I like it.
Yeah, that's fair.
I like it. It's a nice little song.
I'll just tell you about that one. When we're driving in the car with my wife, and that comes on, and I go to skip it, I get admonished quite severely.
Well,
she loves it. She loves it.
You know what? I was on Twitter, and people were putting up their best Beatles songs. Someone put up a survey, and Martha, My Dear came like second. I was like, what?
Jesus Christ.
I know. So it's a very, very popular song.
Who are these people?
Number 6, you got to throw in a Ringo song, and I put in Don't Pass Me By instead of Good Night. I don't like Good Night very much, even though Lennon wrote it. But Don't Pass Me By, which I like. I like a lot.
Yeah, it's a good song. It's a good sing-along song,
It's a good sing-along song. It's got that line, you were in a car crash and you lost your hair, which people thought was a clue to the Paul is Dead thing.
Yeah.
Which I mentioned I've got a Paul is Dead episode if you want to have a listen.
My God. That's haunting, that thing. It's like fucking Nosferatu just telling you a story. It's just frightening.
So, so I put that in. I like that song. And number 7, so this closes side 1, I've got Savoy Truffle.
Oh, jeez. Great song.
I love that song. And I think, I think that's really, I don't think there's another Beatles song like that song.
About chocolates.
Well, that's that sort of funky and got those sort of horns like that. I don't know. It seems to be like a genre within itself.
Yeah, it was based on a box of chocolates, right?
Yeah, it was based on the box of chocolates and having all your teeth pulled out. It was based on George was just watching Eric Clapton. Eric Clapton was sitting there, and he's just like eating chocolate after chocolate after chocolate, and George is just writing down what the chocolates were.
That's a fucking song.
I tell you what, though,
song.
Cream tangerine. That sounds like an awesome chocolate, doesn't it?
It does sound good.
Cream tangerine. I'd love to get one of those. I don't know if they sell them anywhere, but I'd love to get. So,
not with your blood sugar.
Yeah, I know. So that's my side one, and side two. Side two, I open up with the ultimate classic, "While My Guitar Gently Weeps."
Right. Yeah, that's very good.
You know,
Very good.
I'm sure we'll talk about that in your list and our later lists. Number two, "Cry Baby Cry."
Yeah.
So "While My Guitar Gently Weeps," then "Cry Baby Cry." "Cry Baby Cry" is one of those nursery rhyme songs that I was talking about that I love, and it's really ghostly, and it
Yeah.
presents a lot of imagery in my head, you know?
Yeah, there's a narrative
Yeah,
in something that's so short. There's
yeah,
a very clear narrative. There's a storyline, and it's just it's also quite esoteric and psychedelic too, and
yeah,
it just sounds very otherworldly.
yeah. There's a version I heard on YouTube. It only goes for a few seconds, but it's John playing it with fuzz guitar, and he's playing it like a rock song, and he's screaming. And he's going,
Wow.
"Cry, baby, cry," and it sounds brilliant. I wish
Yeah,
there
I'd
was a
like to
version
hear
like
that.
that. Maybe if this White Album footage does come out, maybe that's on there. I hope so.
Yeah, I think that's. I'd love to see that because I mean, when in Get Back, when John is singing Get Back,
That's the
it,
best version.
oh, that's unbelievable.
That's the
Hearing it
best
with his
version.
voice,
Yeah,
yeah, it's just unbelievable. And
yeah,
it
and
just
we'll eventually do a Get Back episode, but there's just so much of it, and to get down everything, we have to do that. We have to find the time to do that. But I agree. To me, that was one of the highlights of Get Back.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So "Cry Baby Cry." I also, I love the medieval imagery in there. That medieval imagery and the ghosts and all that kind of stuff. After "Cry Baby Cry," track 3, "Sexy Sadie." I love "Sexy Sadie." I love that warped piano at the
Yeah,
beginning. I love John's voice.
yeah,
I love that it's about the Maharishi.
yeah. It's great. It's
Yeah,
starts off really melancholy too.
yeah, and then it gets angry. It gets angry. That's what. It's a great song. I think it's one of John's very underrated songs.
Yeah, it's a breakup song.
Yeah, that's right. It's a breakup. It's a song about breakup and disappointment.
Yeah, it starts off really sad and then it gets fucking
Like, yeah, you made a fool of everyone.
Yeah.
Track 4, "Blackbird."
Classic.
Got to have "Blackbird" in there.
Love that song.
Yeah, one of the highlights of the McCartney concert
Yeah.
was him singing "Blackbird" and that stage
brilliant.
rising. Yeah, "Blackbirds," social commentary in it as well.
Yeah.
Singing for about the freedom of black people and to take those broken wings and fly. So yeah, that's great. Number 5. After "Blackbird," I've got "I'm So Tired."
Yeah.
And another classic. You just can't.
Yeah, that's brilliant. That song.
Yeah.
That to me is the smack song of the album. If
Really, not "Happiness Is a Warm Gun"?
Well, "Happiness Is a Warm Gun" to a certain degree. I mean, the imagery and the whole metaphor.
But even though he says it's not about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But "I'm So Tired" too is just like it's a real strung out song.
And John sounds like he's really tired when he's singing it. He sounds like he's going to fall asleep.
Yeah.
When he's about to sing it. And Paul sings that in Get Back as well. He sings "I'm So Tired" as well.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. That's good. So what was that? Number 5. Number 6, "Helter Skelter."
Yeah.
Helter Skelter.
Possibly the first punk song ever.
Yeah. Well, if it's not punk, it's at least thrash pop.
Yeah.
It's at least thrash pop. I mean, in the late 70s and up to the early 90s, there was a whole genre of those bands.
Yeah, it was
doing
genre
thrash pop.
busting, that song.
Yeah. So it was, and that was good live too. That was really good. And last but not least, and I know this is very controversial, and I know because heaps of people don't like this and say this is the first one they'd leave out, but last song, Revolution number 9.
Yeah, go on. Why?
I love it. I love it. Don't you remember when we used to sit there and we'd be stoned and we'd just be like freaking out?
Okay, I do remember that, but remember, this is a George Martin production. It's not a you production.
Yeah, I know.
Why
I
would
know.
George Martin put that in there?
Because John would make him put it in there because that's what
Okay.
happened. That's what happened. That's what happened. Everyone wanted it left out. George Martin wanted it left out. The other Beatles wanted it left out. And John said, nah, this is fucking in. And it got in. And
Yeah.
I think he would have made it. He would have made it come into this.
Yeah, look, there's no doubt that we have a connection with that song. Absolutely.
We'll talk about it later. I'm sure it's going to pop up later. So I'll just go through my 14 real quick, and then you can start yours. So number 1, Back in the USSR. This is side 1. Number 2, Dear Prudence. Number 3, Piggies. Number 4, Happiness is a Warm Gun. Number 5, Martha, My Dear. Number 6, Don't Pass Me By. Number 7, Savoy Truffle. Side 2, While My Guitar Gently Weeps. Number 1, Cry Baby Cry. Number 2, number 3, Sexy Sadie. Number 4, Blackbird. Number 5, I'm So Tired. Number 6, Helter Skelter. And closing the album, number 7, Revolution number 9.
Right. Yeah, that's solid. Very solid outing, I think.
Yeah, a lot of songs have been left out. Like, I mean, I love Bungalow Bill and, I love Revolution. But, what can you do if you're doing 14?
Yeah,
Your
that's
turn.
right. Yeah. Okay, well, you left out Glass Onion too, didn't you?
Yeah. Which I love. I absolutely love it. But you got to put, like I said, you got to make sure Paul's well represented. You got to make sure George is well represented. You got to give Ringo a song,
Yeah. Sorry. So, I'm the same as you for the first 2, Back in the USSR.
And Dear Prudence.
Dear Prudence.
So side 1, track 1, Back in the USSR. Track 2, Dear Prudence. Yeah.
For the same reasons.
Yeah.
Then I come in, track 3, While My Guitar Gently Weeps.
Yeah.
Boom.
That's a solid opening, man.
That's pretty good. It's going to be hard to beat that one.
It's solid opening, and it's also got Paul first song, John second, and George third.
Yeah. And I think, it's just that. That's kind of the song that really defines George, I think, in the Beatles as an equal in songwriting.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I guess that is the first song that is equal to everything else. Maybe Taxman.
Oh yeah. Well,
Taxman was probably equal to all the other stuff on Revolver. But yeah, I know what you're saying. This is
Yeah, so then I got Happiness is a Warm Gun.
So what's that, number 5?
Number 4.
Number 4. I got Happiness at number 4 as well, yeah.
Yeah, I think you got to there.
Yeah.
And I've left out Martha, My Dear for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
It just doesn't jam with me.
But it's not about you, remember?
Yeah, sorry. It doesn't jam with George is what I meant.
Go on.
Through my lens of George.
Yeah.
Then 5, I've got Why Don't We Do It in the Road.
Wow. See, I was considering putting a few of those in, but then I thought it's too short for 14 tracks.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter.
But it just, what it does is really sort of changes the tone.
Yeah. It gives it that freakiness.
Because when you got Dear Prudence, followed by While My Guitar Gently Weeps, and Happiness is a Warm Gun, they're sort of similar, if you know what I mean. Yeah. And then bang, something.
Yeah, fair enough. Why don't we do it in the road? Yeah.
Yeah. Then number 6, I've got Piggies.
Yeah. Good song.
Well, classic. And number 7, Blackbird.
Blackbird to
So you
close
close
off.
it out
Yeah.
with Blackbird.
So do you want to just Oh, you can do it at the end. Yeah. So side 2.
Side 2. Sorry, I just got to scroll down here.
This is why I use pen and paper, old school, buddy. Old school.
Side 2, I've got So Tired.
For track 1. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I just like that. I think, I think you need a bit of a rest after side 1.
Yeah.
So I'm so tired, you can just sort of, roll your joint, pack your bong, load your needle, whatever it is that you're doing, and just sit back.
Fair enough.
Then I move into Mother Nature's Son.
You like that, eh?
I love it.
Yeah, I like it too.
I really like it, and I think
so. That's track 1. I'm So Tired, and track 2, Mother Nature's Son. I'd like that. I would actually. I'd like that. Yeah.
And that's it kind of really picks up the tone a bit.
Yeah.
Then I'd go with the song that follows that. Anyway, Everybody's Got Something to Hide, except for Me and My Monkey. I think because it's just a really good rock and roll song,
Yeah, I know, and I was, very tossing up between that and something else. Yeah,
it's hard, man. It's just
I know, it's hard. That's why it's a double album.
Yeah, I mean, there is stuff that you can leave out, but then there's definitely,
Yeah, I like this side too. I like it.
Yeah.
I might program it and listen to it like that.
Well, who knows? The Beatles might re-release our versions. So, sorry, where is that? That was, so track 8, I'm So Tired. 9, Mother Nature's Son. 10, Everybody's Got Something to Hide. 11 is, I had to go with Cry Baby Cry there.
Yeah, you got to have Cry Baby Cry in there.
Yeah,
you have to.
It's because of what it is, and I just think that coming off Everybody's Got Something to Hide. I think Cry Baby Cry is just a good song to sort of bring it back down.
Yeah, such a rocker, and then just
And I've noticed it's really John heavy.
yeah. That's all right.
But this is through the lens of George Martin.
Yeah, if I wasn't going through the lens of George Martin, I'd probably have all John songs.
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean.
So then I've got Your Blues.
Wow.
Oh, God, I just fucking love that song.
Yeah, blues. Yeah. I guess you're making up for that short track of Why Don't We Do It in the Road?
Yeah.
By putting in a couple of long songs.
Yeah. I think that kicks in right there. Yeah. Blues at number 12. 13, I have Helter Skelter.
Yep. That's what I had at 13, Helter Skelter.
Well, it fits in with it, doesn't it? With the dark mythology of number 13.
Yeah.
And then 14, I had Savoy Truffle.
Wow. So your version is darker than mine, which is good. I like that. It's a darker version of it. Do you just want to quickly read through the whole thing again?
Yeah. So I've got at 1, Back in the USSR. 2, Dear Prudence. 3, While My Guitar Gently Weeps. 4, Happiness is a Warm Gun. 5, Why Don't We Do It in the Road. 6, Piggies. 7, Blackbird. That's side 1.
Mm.
Side 2, I've got I'm So Tired. So that's track 8. Track 9, Mother Nature's Son. Track 10, Everybody's Got Something to Hide. Track 11, Cry Baby Cry. 12, Your Blues. 13, Helter Skelter. And 14, Savoy Truffle.
Wow, that's good. I really like that.
It's a good album.
Yeah, it's a good album. It's a real sort of, like I said, it's a darker side 2 is awesome.
Yeah.
Side two is awesome. I'm going to have to go. I'm going to program all our versions, and I'm going to listen to them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So and see what's happening. So, all right. So we've done an album that we thought, to please everyone, what a producer might put together, what George Martin might put together to please all the Beatles. Now it comes to our album, our personal choices of the 14 that we would choose.
Yeah.
And track one on mine is While My Guitar Gently Weeps.
Whoa.
I think that's just a great track to begin with,
Yeah.
You put that on and straight away this album's different. This album's going to be different. So track one, While My Guitar Gently Weeps. Track two, followed by that, is Happiness is a Warm Gun.
Oh, okay.
So, and then track three is Blackbird.
Right. Oh, that's good. Fucking hell, that's unreal.
Track four is Piggies.
Yeah.
Track five is Cry Baby Cry. Track six, Sexy Sadie.
Yeah.
And track seven is Helter Skelter.
Wow.
So
that's a good album.
Yeah. Yeah. I just like the way
that's a good side one.
Those songs bleed into each other.
Yeah.
And side two, first song I'm going to have on side two, Revolution number 9.
Jesus.
So you just flip it over and you put that on and you just hear that, that's, and I was thinking of putting, Revolution number 9 on backwards. But,
Jesus.
So you hear that, turn me on, dead man, turn me on, dead man. But no, you can't do that. So track one is Revolution number 9. Track two, Dear Prudence.
Yeah.
Track three, Yer Blues. Track four, Long, Long, Long. I love that song.
Yeah.
You know that George song?
Yeah, I know it.
Yeah, love that.
Yeah.
Love that. Track 5, Mother Nature's Son. I also love Mother Nature's Son, but I just didn't fit it in. I couldn't fit it into the producer version, but in my version, it's in there. It's just, I think it's one of McCartney's best songs.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. Track 6, I'm So Tired.
Yeah.
And the last song on the album, Bungalow Bill.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, because Bungalow Bill's sort of really, I don't know, it's just symbolic of the White Album.
Yeah, it is. It's
one of the first things I think of when someone says the White Album.
Yeah. And we used to sing along to it too.
Yeah.
When we were sitting there staying, hey, Bungalow Bill. And I just like it. It's a great song. And it's a song about India, It's a song about some, what did John say? Some cowboy movie star. He didn't say who he was. He said it was a cowboy movie star who was there and all the girls were in love with him. And he had his gun and he was going to go hunting, and that's how John wrote the song. It was probably Clint Eastwood or someone.
Yeah. I can't imagine Clint Eastwood in India.
Or John Wayne.
Yeah. Oh, well, there's a lot of Indians there.
Yeah, cowboys and Indians. Yeah. So I'll just read that out quickly again. Side 1, While My Guitar Gently Weeps. Number 2, Happiness is a Warm Gun. Number 3, Blackbird. Number 4, Piggies. Number 5, Cry Baby Cry. Number 6, Sexy Sadie. Number 7, Helter Skelter. Side 2, Revolution number 9. Number 2, Dear Prudence. Number 3, Yer Blues. Number 4, Long, Long, Long. Number 5, Mother Nature's Son. Number 6, I'm So Tired. And number 7, Bungalow Bill.
Yeah. Very, very good. Very good. I can't fault that at all. Love to hear it.
Yeah, I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna program all these and listen to them and see what they sound like. you know. But you know, if the Beatles were like someone like Kiss, the band Kiss, who just make money, just throw shit out there to make money out of anything, they could put out different versions of single white albums, you know,
Yeah.
uncolored vinyl, like different versions of 14 track.
Yeah.
And people, I'd buy them. I'd buy every single one of them.
Yeah, that's right. Fucking earth. And there's a lot of people out there that would.
Yeah, that's right.
There's a lot. So that'd be good if they did. Yeah, if they did fan favorites, favorite mixes.
Yeah. So, all right, let's hear your one.
All right. So I've got number one, Happiness is a Warm Gun.
That's a good opener. That's a good opener. That's also like, this is going to be different. This is going to be different. Especially, you got to remember, this is coming off the heels of Sgt. Pepper. So everyone's probably expecting this psychedelic, you know, this sort of hard rock psychedelic stuff to continue, and then it just comes out with that, you know. That is just better, in my opinion, than anything on Pepper.
Oh, yeah. It is. I mean, Sgt. Pepper was the massive, groundbreaking phenomenon that, you know, that everyone knows now. But I think Happiness is a Warm Gun is in the pantheon of Beatles songs.
Yep.
So following that, I've got Blackbird.
Mm-hmm.
So Happiness is a Warm Gun into Blackbird.
So I had that, except I had that 2 and 3 instead of 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Then
I had Bungalow Bill.
You put it in there. Good. Yeah. Good to hear.
Yeah. Well, you know.
Yeah.
We owe it. We owe it a lot.
So that was number 3.
That's number 3.
Yeah.
I had Bungalow Bill. Then 4 is While My Guitar Gently Weeps, because I like that's how they appear on the album.
Yeah.
But I really like the transition.
Yeah.
From one to the other. So I've kept that. Next, I got number 5, Glass Onion.
Glass Onion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't put.
You got that in none of your versions.
Yeah, I forgot about Glass Onion for my. I probably would have. Now that I think about it, I would have taken out your blues and put in Glass Onion.
Oh, okay.
So I'm doing that right now.
Are you doing it?
Yeah. Oh, blues gone, Glass Onion in.
Wow.
Because I love Glass Onion. I love, you know, I told you about the Walrus and me, man, you know. The Walrus was Paul. Here's another clue for you all, and all that. That's a massive song for the Paul is Dead clues.
Yeah. It is. It's part of that mythology, isn't it?
Yeah, the conspiracy artists like myself loved that song and used that song. And like I said, I've done an episode of Paul is Dead with all the clues and new clues that no one has ever mentioned before. So,
really?
So if you just scroll down, I can't remember what number it is, but if you just scroll down, you'll find it and give it a listen.
Yeah,
listen to it in the dark because it's spooky.
Yeah, it is. It is quite frightening, actually. So where were we?
Glass Onion was the last one you did.
Then, very controversial, Wild Honey Pie.
I love Honey Pie.
Yeah. It's just, but I don't know if you remember how fucking much we used to laugh at that song when we were stoned. And we were 14 and 15. We just used to laugh our asses off. Because it's just so hillbilly, you know? And it just, the narratives it makes you imagine and shit, it's just hilarious. And it's really short. And it's like a throwaway, but had a lasting impression.
Yeah, and it was so unlike a Beatles song. Yeah. You know, it was just so, you know, is this the Beatles doing this? And you loved it more because it was the Beatles doing it, you know?
Yeah. That's the thing. It was just, it had, It's I don't know. What do they call it? Is it bluegrass or is it just real deep hillbilly?
I don't know. It's hillbilly. Yeah, it's cartoon hillbilly type thing. You know,
Yeah.
it's kind of like the hillbilly music you see in Bugs Bunny cartoons or Snuffy Sniff and
All the old stuff. We should do podcasts on those.
yeah.
Um,
So what number was that?
that was sorry, I'm just scrolling back up to my list. That was number 6, and then I'm closing out side 1 with "I'm So Tired"
Right.
because you would be after listening to that.
Yeah.
So I'll do the whole lot at the end. Then opening track of side B is "Everybody's Got Something to Hide Except for Me and My Monkey."
You love that song, don't you?
I do. I love it.
Yeah.
As a kid, I used to think it was about him and Yoko, which sounds pretty racist, but I didn't think of it like that.
You thought she was the monkey on his back.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
holding him down or whatever.
Yeah. So, don't cancel me because that's not what I thought. Number 8 was "Everybody's Got Something to Hide." Number 9, "Your Blues Again." I think that just sets a real good tone.
Yeah.
Then I'll bring it back down with "Cry Baby Cry."
Yeah.
At number 10. Then one that we both haven't used yet, "Revolution 1."
Yeah. I was
11.
tossing and turning between
Such
that.
a good song. Such a powerful fucking song.
The only reason I didn't put it in was because the B-side of "Hey Jude" is the Fast Revolution.
Okay. Right.
So I didn't put it in. But yeah, I know. It's like, if you look at the songs we didn't put in, there's a lot of good songs we didn't put in. And where do they go?
There's another album.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Go
on. So that was number 11. Number 12, "Savoy Truffle." For obvious reasons. So you got a couple of good rock songs back to back. Then bring it back down. Number 13 was "Sexy Sadie." And then at the very end, close out the whole album with "Helter Skelter," number 14.
Wow, so you didn't have Revolution number 9 in there?
Yeah, I was going to, for a joke, say number 1, Revolution number 9, the very first track.
Well, you know what? I was thinking about putting that as number 1.
I don't know. I think it'd alienate too many people.
No, but this is your thing.
Yeah, I know.
This is your thing. I thought you would have had that in there for sure.
I'll listen to your one.
Yeah. Yeah, look, I guess it's a matter of taste, but I've done so many deep dives into Revolution number 9, and again, that's another big conspiracy song.
Well, it's very avant-garde
for the Paul is dead thing.
Yeah,
it's got like, if you play it backwards, it's got that "Turn Me On, Dead Man," and you can hear the car crash that he died in, and all that sort of stuff. And it was just, for me, it's avant-garde, and it's also has to be one of the first ever sampling songs.
Yeah,
where they sampled things,
Yeah, look, I mean, I don't know. I am torn about that. I mean, I've got "Wild Honey Pie" in there, and not that, which is the antithesis of it. It's a total opposite.
And some of the songs we left out, like we left out "Oh Blood E, Oh Blood R."
Yeah, that had to go.
We didn't put "Back in the USSR" in our personal favourites.
No, we didn't. Well, I'll just read mine again.
Yeah.
Number 1, "Happiness Is a Warm Gun." 2, "Blackbird." 3, "Bungalow Bill." 4, "While My Guitar Gently Weeps." 5, "Glass Onion." 6, "Wild Honey Pie." And 7, "I'm So Tired."
Yeah, it's good.
Then on the next, flip it over, put the needle down, and you got "Everybody's Got Something to Hide." You got "Your Blues," "Cry Baby Cry," "Revolution 1," "Savoy Truffle," "Sexy Sadie," and "Helter Skelter."
That's great. That is. Yeah. That's awesome.
Well, but, I mean, they're all Beatles songs. We're just mixing around Beatles songs.
Yeah.
How's it going to be bad?
Yeah. So another song that we left out, like we left out "Rocky Raccoon" on these versions, which
I found
really
it a bit depressing.
Yeah, I liked it back in the day, but I don't listen to it much now.
Yeah, same. I liked it back in the day, but now I just can't.
Yeah.
Do it.
I Will, which I like. I like
Yeah.
I Will. We've left out I Will, Julia, and
Yeah.
Birthday.
Birthday. How many times do you ever hear? How many times would you actually play Birthday?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So that's
exactly.
maybe once a year on your birthday. But
And we left out the other Honey Pie and
yeah.
Good Night. So, I think those can go.
Yeah, absolutely. That could be an EP.
Yeah, that's right. So, look, it's like, you know what we could have done?
Go on.
We could have put in, and we should have put in, that "Can you take me back where I can?"
Yeah.
We can put that in because it's not actually listed on there.
Okay.
So we could have put that in somewhere.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to put that in between every track. So in between 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6. You imagine that?
Yeah.
We would have loved it as stoners.
Oh, yeah.
Man, that's so wicked.
Yeah. That's like, who would do that? All right, so that is mine and Jeff's 14-track white album, single white album, and it's painful. Like
It
we
was
said,
hard.
it's hard.
Man. It's surgery,
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to do it. I would have been really interested to see George Martin's 14 tracks, what he would have kept.
Well, we did that. We both did that. There's 2 versions of that. Well, is Matthew going to send in his 14?
Yeah, I don't know. If he sends it in, I'll read them out.
We should invite all listeners to do that, actually. Send in your 14 and let's see what we got.
We'll and you can email us at beatlemailbox@gmail.com, and I'll put that email in the description of this, and I might put this up on YouTube as well, so you can comment on YouTube, because I don't really put it up on YouTube, but
yeah,
I might do that so you can comment on YouTube. We would love to hear from you. We would also love to hear from other people who've got Beatles podcasts who would like to join in and talk with us, or if you consider yourself a Beatles expert or have got a Beatles book or whatever, let us know and we'll have a chat.
I don't consider myself an expert at all, just a fan.
Yeah, me either. We know a lot, but we're not experts. Like, I mean, I thought shit. I know a lot about the Beatles, and then I've listened to some podcasts and gone, oh my God, I don't know anything.
Yeah, you know more than anyone I know.
Yeah, but compared to some of the other people,
yeah, some guys just
like that Nothing Is Real podcast. Those 2 Irish dudes.
Yeah,
they know everything. When they do a deep dive, they just go into the whole lot. And the things we said today, guys, they're journalists and DJs that have been around since the 60s. So they know a shitload, and have all written books, so they know a shitload as well.
Yeah, who was the one that wrote that book that traced them, Lennon and McCartney, back to like neighbours in the 18th century or something?
Mark Lewison.
Yeah, see, I mean, God. Yeah. And he's been actually involved with the Beatles too.
Yeah, he's worked for George and Paul.
Yeah.
So he knows a shitload, and he's been writing about the Beatles since he was like 16 or something.
So we're just fans giving our opinion of what we like. But that's important too,
Yeah, that's right.
In the Beatles universe.
That's right.
Get a voice. Everyone's got a voice.
Except for me and my monkey. Which is you.
Apologies to Yoko on that.
All right, everyone. So thank you for listening, and we'll be back soon, probably with our take on Get Back, if Jeff will start watching it again.
Yeah, yep, I will.
It's a big ask, isn't it?
It's an investment. I mean, first time I watched it, fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant. But it's just a matter of making the time,
Yeah, I know. All right, everyone. See you later.
Thanks. Bye.